Okay, this program is called the ball work. It has 20 to 25 exercises you can do on it that dynamically stretch and strengthen the limbs while they stabilize the core. And that's really obviously important for any type of throwing motion or hitting motion that you're able to use and maximize the range of motion of your limbs properly, especially the arms. So we're going to start with an exercise called the arm circles. He's now in the position where he bounces into the balls of his feet, and he's going to start dynamically moving his arms in different movement patterns. This is a circular pattern. What it specifically does is help open up the shoulder capsule. So he's stretching the pec in obviously different angles, but you're also stretching the posterior side as well. And as he increases the movement pattern in terms of its efficiency, he'll also improve or increase the speed of the movement. So start speeding it up a little faster. So dynamic flexibility is very, very important in sports, but it's particularly important in the ability to throw anything, because the velocity of throwing is dependent upon the ability of the body's muscles to stretch very quickly and therefore then contract very quickly. That's really good. You'll notice that by maintaining that position, don't come out of that position though. He's stabilizing his core specifically with the weight in the balls of his feet, but he's able to stabilize his spine and then allow his limbs to move dynamically around it. Good. Go into the arm. Crossover flies now. And this specifically targets the stretching of the pec muscles, that your arms open up a little bit more, which really affects obviously throwing directly, as the pec muscle, when it contracts, is what pulls the head of the femur forward. And now you're going to stretch above your head from the same position. This helps to really stretch the serratus muscles along here. And again, as we able to prepare a body for sports, you've got to dynamically move the limbs in different ranges of motion and different planes of movement. Simply doing a lot of weightlifting where you're just bench pressing isn't going to cut it when your arm has to internally rotate to be able to throw something. Now you're going to go and do the split stretch one like this. Do the swimmer. So really stretch these back. So in this position, he's able to really get flexibility work into his low back and his hamstring. Now turn your hands under and force them up when you go back. Dumb. So when you bring them around, I want them going up. There you go. So there he's able to train the posterior side of his shoulders and then dynamically be able to stretch his hamstring and his low back. And this helps a lot, obviously, for injury prevention and keeping his body loose and nimble. Good. So this exercise, we call it a sword pull. And again, he's having to stabilize his core while he dynamically moves his arms. This obviously trains the posterior side of the shoulder. And it is a tremendous advantage in improving his coordination, as it's not a simple movement pattern to master. One of the things that's important in teaching any type of coordinated movement is to actually slow the movement down until they get the pattern, and then you gradually increase the velocity of it. The brain needs to establish its pattern first, and then it can start firing at a higher rate of speed. You can't simply just expect someone to learn how to move it at a high rate of speed the first time they do it. So again, it's just another change of the movement pattern while you're still accomplishing the core stability. Go ahead. But every range of motion that you can challenge them in creates a better athlete. And athletes are people that are able to solve problems. They are thrown different adversity throughout their sport. They're asked to do different things in different movement patterns. The more they can master their own body control, the better athlete you get. Good.